Girl, I have been waiting for this moment because my new coloring book, Breathe Girl, is finally here! And today I'm going to be taking you behind the scenes as I publish it without Amazon KDP. Now, as a disclaimer, I do currently still publish there because I love how easy the process can be. But Amazon KDP is not the only way to self-publish your book. As a matter of fact, I'm going to go ahead and show you how I upload my books step by step on another platform that works a bit differently than Amazon KDP's platform. So if you've ever wanted to publish beyond Amazon KDP, then make sure you watch until the end because I'm going to show you how you can use this platform to publish your medium and high content books, even as a beginner. But first, let's talk about a few reasons as to why I don't only use Amazon KDP when I'm publishing my books. So if you're not new to this channel, you've probably heard me mention that if KDP blocks your book or terminates your book for any reason whatsoever, you want to have a backup. You don't want to put all your eggs in one basket for that reason alone. And so in addition to that, the platform that I'm getting ready to show you in just a minute also gives you more distribution options. Think of things like Barnes & Noble bookstore or Barnes & Noble online, even Walmart.com. So what I did with this coloring book and all of my coloring books, I format one version of my book using Canva to put the book together when I originally uploaded the book to Amazon KDP, which is how I got this proof. And so I'll be using those exact two files, the cover file as well as the interior file, which is also a PDF file, to publish on the other platform. And so one of the main reasons that I use Amazon KDP first is because KDP allows me to go ahead and get my book on Amazon, usually within 72 hours after publishing the book. And I use that period to order my proof copy, and I highly recommend always getting a copy of your book in your hand so that you could go through each one of the pages and just make sure everything is the way it's supposed to be. This helps you know if any changes are gonna be needed. Like for example, in this book, once I got my proof copy, because I made this book kind of like my Mommy and Me book, where you can sit across from your friend or your sister and color together. So because of that, I have the duplicate images. And so when I flipped the images, some of the images had text on them, right? So when I got the book and I was able to look through it in person, I noticed that one page had the word, for example, tacos correctly, right? And then when I flipped it, I don't know if you could tell because I don't know if the back camera is facing correctly, but it actually had taco spelled backwards. I had to go back through and horizontally flip the pages so that they could line up correctly. So sometimes you might miss little things like that when you're going through the book, but when you see it in person, you'll catch it. Another thing that I updated once I got my book in person was, but I wanted this part to be in cursive, but originally I had it like this print. So I made that update once I got the book. The other thing that I changed was in the beginning of the book, I have your side, and then when you flip it over, I have where it said bestie side, and I had that in cursive. So I changed that font from cursive as well. So then once I got my book like I wanted, made all the small corrections, this is when I go ahead and start publishing on the other platform, which is called IngramSpark. So let's go ahead and take a look at how I self-publish without Amazon KDP using IngramSpark. All right, so to get started, you'll just go to IngramSpark.com. Once you're on IngramSpark.com, you will go ahead and create your account. Since I already have my account created, I'm just gonna go ahead and click on login. Once you log into your account, you're gonna wanna click on the account information section so that you can go ahead and fill out your tax information as well as your bank information so that you can get paid once you start making sales. From there, the left side of the page, you're gonna come under the title section and go ahead and click on add title. That's gonna bring you to this page where you're gonna be able to upload the book. So for my Breathe Girl coloring book, I am gonna click on print only, and then I'm going to go ahead and say, yes, all of my files are ready. I'm going to go ahead and say that I have the two files that I told you about here, which is the cover file and then also the interior file. Both of those files are PDF documents that are saved, same exact files that I already uploaded to Amazon KDP. And then I'm going to go ahead and click on print, distribute, and sell the book. If you ever have any questions when you're uploading your book to IngramSpark, you can always just click on the question mark. It will break down the terms for you. So for example, it says select print, distribute, and sell via IngramSpark's distribution channels or print only to have your books only printed for your use. So the difference between the two is if you want it to be able to be sold on Amazon and in bookstores, you're going to click print, distribute, and sell book. If you only want to be able to print your books yourself, for example, if you are going to be selling on your website, your Shopify store, which if you don't have that set up, I do suggest that you do set that up, because that is also something that I highly recommend outside of publishing on Amazon KDP as well. So I'm going to go ahead and click on print, distribute, and sell book, because when I click this, I can still purchase the books to sell on my website as well. All of that is included under here. So I'm going to go ahead and continue. Now I'm going to go ahead and enter my title information. And I want all of my metadata to match exactly like it is in KDP. So for the title, I'm just going to put Breathe Girl. For the language, I'm going to put English. For the ISBN number, I always purchase my own ISBN numbers. The reason that this is important is because if you use Amazon's free ISBN number, that ISBN number is restricted to Amazon only. But since I purchased my own, I can use that same ISBN number that I used on Amazon for my Breathe Girl coloring book on IngramSpark as well. Under publishing rights, I own the publishing rights, so I'll click that button. Then it says, please answer the below. Does your title include someone's name, the name of a famous company, or a famous brand without a license from the owner? Does it include trademarks, pictures, or names of famous brands, toys, games, or companies without a license or the owner's permission? Does it include pictures copied or pasted from the web or any other place without a license or the owner's permission? Does it include the work of someone else other than yourself without a license or the owner's permission? Does it include misleading cover images or information that may cause someone to buy the title thinking it's something else? No, my title does not include any of the above. Then I'm going to go ahead and click on OK. Has artificial intelligence been used in the creation of this work? If you used artificial intelligence, then you would just click on yes that it was used, and then it will ask you additional questions there. If you do not use artificial intelligence for your book, then you would simply just click no. Now, under this section, I like to go ahead and click on the drop-down section because I actually want to be able to add my subtitle as well. So the subtitle is a self-care coloring book for Black women featuring cozy, relaxing, and empowering sisterhood moments. And now we can just go ahead and close that back up. The next section is where you'll list your author name or any contributors that you may want to include. Because I entered in my ISBN number earlier, it already knows the imprint name, but this is where you would come to add your imprint name that you sign up through Bowker when purchasing your ISBN number. Here's where you're going to enter in the subject. So for IngramSpark, the subject section is Amazon's KDP's category section. So whatever you entered for your categories on Amazon, you can use those same subjects or the closest subject that you can find. I'm going to do a search for coloring book. We're going to add that subject there. And you can choose up to 3 subjects. Then you'll go ahead and select your audience. So who is your book for? And then you'll enter in your description. Of course, you have the option to use bold, italicize. All of the options are up here that you can just play around with. This is where you'll enter your keywords. Now for IngramSpark, you can enter in a total of up to 500 characters. You would just separate your keywords with semicolons. So after you enter your first one, you would just separate it like that and then go ahead and enter in the rest of your keywords. Once you're done, you can go ahead and click on continue. And then this section, this is going to be the print information. So you're going to be selecting your trim size, your pricing, and things like that. So for my book, I am doing 8.5 by 11. That is the standard size for coloring books and activity books. It's the size of all of my coloring books. And then I'm going to do black and white, 50-pound paper. Binding is paperback, perfect bound. And then the finish is gloss. So for duplex enabled. And then I'm going to go ahead and enter in the page count. Marketplace is going to be United States. The print cost per book is going to be $3.37. Now I'm going to go ahead and enter in my pricing. Now remember that IngramSpark allows wholesalers to purchase your book. So you do want to enter in a wholesale discount so that you can improve your chances of that bookstore wanting to purchase your book. So you will just enter in your pricing information here. And then once you enter in the United States, it'll auto-populate for the other ones. And you'll also see your compensation that you'll make on the right side. I'm gonna go ahead and enter in my wholesale discount rate. The preferred amount for the discount is 55%, but you do have the option to also do between 40 and 54%. I'm gonna do 53% for this book. All right, now when you get to the return section, you do want to click on this question mark so that you can understand how this part works. So I'm just gonna read what it says. We offer 3 title level return options. Non-returnable means that copies cannot be returned to Ingram. So if a retailer purchases your book, they cannot make returns on that book. You click on yes, deliver. That means that copies can be returned to Ingram, and Ingram will ship the returned copies back to you. Publishers, which is yourself, are charged the current wholesale cost of the title plus shipping and handling fees, $2 per book for U.S. returns to a U.S. address, and $20 per book for U.S. returns to an international address. The condition of the copy being returned is not guaranteed. And then yes, destroy means copies can be returned to Ingram, and you will not receive a physical copy upon its return. If you select this option, you will be charged for the current wholesale cost of each copy returned, but no shipping and handling fees will apply. We will destroy any returned copies received if this option is selected. Also, changing the return status for a title can have a negative impact on your benefits. So you just want to make sure that whatever you're choosing, that's what you're comfortable with sticking with. Sometimes on my book, I choose no. Sometimes I click yes, return. And you would just do the same thing for all the other locations as well. Just read over this to make sure you understand everything. The print option enabled the look inside. The book feature, large text edition, right to left content. I don't really enable any of those things. And then for the publication date, I always just do my release date as of the day I'm submitting the book. Go ahead and continue. This next section is where you're going to use those 2 files that I was mentioning, and you're going to upload both of those files here. Once that's complete, go ahead and click on continue, and it's going to check your files to see if there are any errors, and you'll just wait for that part. All right, so under the title information, it says your title has no errors, but under the content files validation, it does say that the file contains transfer curves. So basically, it gives you an option. If you choose to proceed, we can often correct this issue for you automatically. Usually when I go ahead and proceed, they do correct whatever the issue is. So that's what I'm going to go ahead and put here. And then I'm going to go ahead and put yes, proceed with my files the way they are. It tells you to confirm your book's information. And I don't know if I mentioned it, but IngramSpark is absolutely free to upload, just like Amazon KDP is absolutely free as well. So then you're just going to authorize IngramSpark to establish the titles in its database and agree that the selections that you made are final. Everything looks good. Going to go ahead and click on complete submission. All right, and then it says, congratulations, you've uploaded your book into IngramSpark's account. What's next? So for print books, in 3 to 5 days, you'll receive your digital proof of your book, review and approve your proof, order a print copy to review, and then go ahead and enable distribution so your book can be sold all around the world. Congratulations. All right. The reason I don't just stop at KDP when publishing my book is because I want access to more bookstores and more control over where Breathe Girl goes. Would you ever publish and sell your book outside of Amazon KDP? Let me know in the comments. If you want to see a full step-by-step tutorial on setting up your own website to sell your book, then click on the link in the description, or you can watch this video next. If you like this type of content, make sure you hit like and subscribe so that I know to keep putting out more content like this. All right, guys, I'm Latoya Nicole, and until next time, bye-bye.